Hi guys, welcome to lesson 313 for Everyday Math 5th grade. So today we're going to be working on a few things. We're going to be working on using fractions and doing different things with them still, of course, but we are going to work with something called fraction of problems. So just take a guess. When we're working on fraction of problems, or when you see the word of in a story problem, what do you think the of stands for? What do you think? Does it mean that you multiply, divide, add, or subtract? When you say of, that means multiply. Whenever you're looking at different questions or different story problems, and like this one, it says 1/4 of the beads, that means I'm going to multiply 1/4 times something else. Now, when you multiply fractions, I have a hint for you. Multiplying fractions is going to be easier than adding and subtracting, in my opinion. When you add and subtract, you have to find a common denominator. But when you multiply, you just have to multiply straight across. How do you multiply fractions? Multiply straight across. Draw the line if you need to. All right, so what we are going to do is we are going to look at this first story problem. It says that there are 56 beads in a necklace. 1/4 of the beads are blue. How many beads are blue? Oy, tongue twister. So the first thing I do is I look at literally this part of the story problem. 1/4 of the beads. That's going to make your story, or that's going to make your number model. I literally just write that. 1/4 of, we said, means multiply. And then finally, how many beads do I have? 56. So now it's time to do the math. Oh, but wait, I can't. What do I need to do to that 56 in order to multiply straight across? How do I need to change it? Well, what you have to do is you have to put it over 1. Anytime you are working with a whole number, the way that you make it into a fraction is you put it over 1. The reason why is because 56 divided by 1, remember that's how we look at fractions. 56 divided by 1 is 56. So with it over 1, that means that it's 56 wholes. That's how you do this. No matter what the whole number is, in order to make it into a fraction, always put it over 1. 9. To make 9 into a fraction, it would be 9/1. To make 75 into a fraction, 75/1. To make 3,524,000 into a fraction, it would be 3,524/1. Now that I have my fraction set up, literally all you do is you multiply straight across. When you multiply straight across, here, you're going to get your final answer. So 56 times 1 is 56. 4 times 1 is 4. Perfect. But I am not going to accept that as an answer. 56/4 is an improper fraction. I don't like it. It's not pretty. I want you to figure out what you need to do. How do I fix this? How do I make this into either a whole number or a mixed number? What do I need to do? Well, you need to divide. Remember, when we look at a fraction, we have a number over another number. So it looks like a division sign. So the way that I look at this and the way that I read this fraction is I can say it as a number divided by a number. This line in the middle means divided by. So let's look here. 56 divided by 4. Okay. Go ahead and divide that out and tell me what you got. All right, if I do the division, I know 4 goes into 5 one time with 1 left over. Bring down that 6. 4 goes into 16 4 times. 16, 0 left over. Your answer should be 14 beads. Now, this is a story problem. Make sure that you are putting a label Remember, if it doesn't have a label, it's going to be wrong. All right. Now that we did number 1, let's check out number 2. Jenna had 45 yards of yarn. She used 1/5 of it for a knitting project. How much yard did she use? Okay, so I want you to tell me what sentence shows me what my number model would be. Where in my sentence does it show me my number model? What you should have chosen is 1/5 of it. And by it means yards of yarn. So that is what I would use to help me make my number sentence. All right. So if I were writing this, I would actually write 1/5 times 45. Remember, to make 45 into a whole number, I do 45 over 1. All right. I want you to multiply straight across, divide if you need to, find your final answer. All right, the way you would do this is 45 times 1 equals 45. 1 times 5 is 5, and then you're going to divide. 45 divided by 5. All right, here we go. It goes in there 9 times. 9 times 5 is 45. So this one is even. If there's no remainder, then you're set. Then your answer would be 9. If there is a remainder, sometimes there will be. We will work on that in a little while. I think that we have one maybe tomorrow coming up, or maybe one of these might have a remainder, but we'll talk a little bit about that when we get there, okay? Number 3. Morris has a rectangular garden with an area of 60 square feet. 1/10 of the garden is planted with beans. How many square feet are planted with beans? All right. What words in the sentence? Help me out. Okay. I know that it is 1/10 of the garden. That will be my math problem. 1/10 of the garden is 60 square feet. Remember to make it over 1 because that's how you do fractions. Whole number over 1 equals the fraction. Great. Multiply, divide, tell me your answer. Go. The way you would do this is 1 times 60 is 60. 10 times 1 is 10, and then I'm going to divide. 60 divided by 10 is 6. There we go. All right, number 4, try this. The length of my living room is 24 feet. The width of my living room is half of the length. What is my area? This one is tricky. This one is tricky. So I'm going to draw my picture to help me. So the length of my living room is 24 feet, right? The width, this part right here, is half of 24. All right. What you need to do is you need to figure out what the length is. I'm sorry, what the width is. So what is half of 24? To me, this is easy. This one is probably the easiest one ever. Half of 24, literally divide by 2. 24 divided by 2 is 12. All right, if the width is 12 and my length is 24, what is my area? Remember, area is length times width. What is my area? 24 times 12, length times width. All right, 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4, X's and O's. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. All right, then I'm going to add 8 plus 0 is 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 plus nothing is 2. Your answer should be 288 square feet. 288 square feet. Now, remember that it's square feet because it's area. Cubic feet is for volume, which takes us right into the next little part of our lesson. So this is something we're going to work on for a couple of days. What you're going to do right now is we're going to kind of take a little sidestep and we're going to work on the next section, which is volume. So we did this a lot first quarter. We did this a lot during, I think it was unit 1, we did volume. So we're going to work on volume again. Now, notice that you need to have a number sentence. All right. It's going to give you different shapes. So we have a shape of a juice box, a present. Notice the shape of the flashlight. Remember, they have these 2 boxes because it's a weird shape. They need one shape for the front of it and one shape for the back of it. So you need to find the volume of both and add them together. This was practice. We did this last week. All right. Same thing down here with my little airplane. So you can break it however you choose. And then my little duck. So we're going to go one at a time. You're going to do a lot of these on your own. We will check it together, but a lot of the time I'm going to have you do the work. I'm going to go kind of quick through it because this is review. Okay? So if you don't understand it, rewatch that section or make sure you ask questions. Okay? Great. Here we go. Number 1, we have our juice box. 5 centimeters by 4 centimeters by 10 centimeters. All right, here we go. 5 by 4 by 10. I know we do length times width times height, so I'm going to do 5 times 4 times 10 equals J for juice. J for juice. Great. Now, let's do our volume. 5 times 4 is 20, times 10 is 200. Don't forget your label. So these are centimeters. So my label would be centimeters cubed. So that is your sample. What you're going to do right now is you're going to look at number 2. I want you to do the math and do the work for number 2. What is your number sentence? All right, your number sentence should be 12 times 12 times 13 equals, I'm going to say B inches cubed. Okay, because that gives, again, it's a box. That's why I put the B. It's okay. Now we're going to actually find the volume. So if I actually sit there and multiply 12 times 12 times 13, what is my final answer? Your answer should be 1,872 inches cubed. 1,872. If that's not what you got, then try your math again. This is why we always check our answers. Try to do it a different way. I know that 12 times 12 is 144. I'm then going to multiply by 13. 3 times 4 is 12, carry my 1. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13, carry my 1. 3 plus times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. X's and O's. 4, 4, 1. All right, then I'm going to add 2. 3 plus 4 is 7. 4 plus 4 is 8. 1 plus nothing is 1. That's how I did my math. Great. Now, number 3. For number 3, again, we have our length, width, and height. What is my number sentence? Your number sentence should be 12 times 3 times 1 equals S inches cubed. And I did S because it looks like it's a spaghetti box. That's the only reason why I did an S. It doesn't matter what letter you put. Remember, as long as it kind of matches the picture. All right, do the math. Do the math. What is my actual volume of this box? The volume of this box to me is pretty easy because I know that 3 times 1 is 3. Times 12 is going to be 36, and it's inches cubed. Inches cubed. Remember, volume is cubed. Okay? Number 4. There are 2 lines, which means that you need to tell me both number sentences. What number sentences should we use? This is a multiple choice question, so you need to check both number sentences. Don't be tricked. The numbered sentences that I would use, I'm going to start with the long box here. We have 5 times 5 times 14. And I'm going to say that's L because it's the long box. Easy for me to remember. This one is simple. It's a cube. 6 times 6 times 6. S for short. Find the volume. What is the total volume of this box? All right, if I do the math, 6 times 6 times 6 is actually going to be 216. 5 times 5 is 25. Times 4, my answer is going to be 350. Add those together, and my total answer is 566 centimeters cubed. That's how we would do that problem. Now, for your assignment today, I want you to find the volume of these last two boxes on your own. Try it out. When you come to our live lesson, we're going to actually go through these together because these can be a little tricky. I want to make sure that you can follow along with me. All right? What is one thing that you learned new about either volume or fractions? Tell me one thing that you learned. Have a great day.